Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Blue if you're new here, and today is going to be a what I eat in a day video. I haven't planned it really yet, so this is going to be a really authentic, let's see what we make together. I'm starting out with something because this is what I do at the beginning of every week. I make a big muesli so that I can enjoy it throughout the week. So that's what we're going to do first. I've got a second camera here so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So you can copy this recipe exactly, or just, I make it differently every time depending what I have in the cupboard. So just sub whatever you have, whatever you like. But we're going to be making a big batch of muesli so I can enjoy it for the rest of the week and have it for breakfast today. So let's get started with that. So first things first, you're going to want a big bowl and a spoon to mix everything with. And then I like personally for my muesli not to just be oat based. I like to have a little bit more texture and grit in it. So I do 50% oats. And I really like the jumbo oats. These are my favorite ones. They're like big ones. They've got more, I feel like more of a nutty flavor, and they've got a better texture. So I just get the jumbo oats. And then 50% of the base is also buckwheat because I just love the nutty, gritty texture. It's less soggy than the oats when it gets in contact with the milk. It's got more of a texture to it and a bit more of a chew. So I like to have that in there as well. And this is perfectly fine to have raw. I know some people worry about having it raw or if they need to cook it. It's fine. It's got a harder texture than oats, but it's perfectly fine to eat it as is. It's like a nut, I guess. It's fine. You can bite through it. It's not that hard. So now I'll just mix those together as the base. And then I get to adding whatever the hell I like, whatever I have in the kitchen and whatever I'm feeling that week. It changes a little bit depending on what I have and what I'm feeling. But I basically stick to a few essentials. So first I'll put in something sweet. Today I'm going to be putting in raisins. Sometimes I'll put in chopped dates. I put in as many as you like. I know that my partner likes it really sweet, so he put in a lot more raisins than I would. I like it less sweet. I have less of a sweet tooth, but I like a little bit of sweetness in there, here and there, dotted in. So something like that. And then I'll pop in some nuts as well, get those omegas, those essential fatty acids in there, and a bit of crunch, and a lovely bit of flavor. So I'll crumble them up. I have these whole walnuts, which is my favorite nut, and I'll just kind of crumble it up so it gets more evenly dispersed and you're not just getting a chunk every 2 days. You get a little bit in every bowl. And then I'll pop in a seed. Usually I go for pumpkin seeds, again, because they're my favorite. But I change it up. Again, sometimes sunflower seeds are nice. I'll sprinkle some of those in. Give it a bit of a mix again. When it's in the bowl, you don't want to mix it too much because the heavier things like the nuts and the seeds will sink to the bottom, and then when you put it in your jar in the end, they'll just be all on the top. So I mix it a little bit to get it combined, but don't over mix it so everything falls to the bottom, just like when you're mixing a salad, same thing. And then I really enjoy hemp hearts. They're so nutritious. So I put this in pretty much everything, but I like to get it in the first thing in the morning so I know I've had some good hemp. So I'll sprinkle some of that in. Quite a lot of that in. And then I'll put in some powders. So I'm going to go for ashwagandha because it's really good. I have PCOS and it's really good for that. Balancing the hormones. And then I'll put in some maca as well, which is also highly nutritious and also tastes lovely. It's got that malty flavor which makes the milk taste really, really good in the muesli. So then give that final mix through. And that's about it. Then you just need to grab a jar, like this one, start filling it up. And obviously you can have this by itself if you wanted, with some yogurt or some milk. I like to do 50-50, some soy yogurt and some milk. You can have it with fruit. You can have it as a topping on your banana and ice cream, as like a substitute for granola. You can have it as a little snack. You can put it in a jar and take it with you. Go and feed the squirrels in your local park. It's just a great all-rounder. I love to have this in the cupboard, and that's why I make it in a batch every week. Look at that, the perfect amount. I've done this so many times, I don't even need to measure it anymore. Ooh, but a tip, what I did at the beginning when I first started making this is I would fill this up with all of the ingredients separately, just unmixed, just so I knew the exact amount, and then I would dump it into the bowl, give it a mix, and then pop it back in so it was mixed really well. But you didn't waste any ingredients or make too much. But I've made it so many times now that I just know exactly how much to fill the jar. And then that's my muesli that goes in the cupboard, and I can enjoy that all week. So I'm going to have a bowl of that now. So I really like to top it with lots of fruit, so fresh or frozen. Today I've got an apple, so I'm going to put that on it. Sometimes I'll go for blueberries, raspberries, banana, sliced orange, whatever I've got around. And then if you've been watching me for a while, you know how much I love blackstrap molasses. I put it on pretty much every breakfast thing. So I'm going to be sprinkling some of that, dripping some of that. Also, so highly nutritious and adds another dimension of flavor. So I always enjoy that. Also really good with apple somehow. Do you know what? I'm going to put some blueberries on there as well, just because I feel like it needs more fruit. And maybe a bit of desiccated coconut. I get carried away when it comes to the toppings, honestly. Okay, that's it. I'm stopping. So that's breakfast. You just need to do that once a week or so, and you're good to go. So for the rest of the week, I just need to pour it in, top it with whatever I like. Really quick and easy, especially if you're usually in a rush in the morning, and it's really nutritious and it tastes so good. So I'm going to enjoy this. So I wanted to speak about this kind of video before I eat my muesli. I'm making this video, what I eat in a day video, because I wanted to share some of my go-to recipes that are quick and easy and affordable and nutritious, and the things that I gravitate towards, because I know that there are a lot of people who struggle with time, struggle with accessibility, and are looking to either inspire themselves to change up their recipes a little bit, or some people who are transitioning to a plant-based diet and are looking for some recipes to inspire them because maybe they don't know what to cook yet on a plant-based diet in order to feel satisfied and full. I know that there are lots of people of all ages and backgrounds and in different circumstances watching me, so I wanted to share some of my recipes just to share them, just to share the love. And this is what I eat. I get a lot of questions across all platforms about the kinds of foods that I eat regularly, so I wanted to just bring you with me without planning it too much to be like the perfect recipe, to make it too complicated, just kind of what I eat on a regular day. And it changes, obviously, every day I eat something different, but there are some basics that I stand by. For example, this muesli that I eat all the time. And I think it's important to make lots of these kinds of videos to show the diversity of food, because a well-balanced diet is assessed throughout time. It's not in one sitting. I'm not going to get everything I need in this one bowl of muesli. It's taken over time. So over the course of the day, hopefully I'll meet my nutrients need, and over the course of a few days and a week and a month. So I don't want this to be dictatorial, to be showing you exactly what you should be eating and to follow it step by step. I don't even follow this step by step. All of these recipes change. So I wanted to let you know about that before we continue this video. It is currently the 3rd of February, so Veganuary has just come and gone, and hopefully these kind of videos will help inspire the people who are newly on a plant-based diet to continue and to keep looking for new creative recipes and to inspire just different things, because sometimes we can all get in a rut. Sometimes I get in a rut and I just need inspiration for different kinds of recipes and recipe ideas. Sometimes I'll just take like one thing from here and one thing from there and throw it together and make my own thing. So I'm hoping that that's what these kinds of videos will inspire. Like I always say with every recipe, use what you have. You don't have to necessarily put apple on your muesli or blueberries. You can put whatever you want. You don't have to put nuts and seeds in. If you have like a nut allergy, this recipe is still for you. Just put in the things that you like and the things that you have. So that's why I tend to describe why I'm adding them, so you can put something else. For example, if you do have a nut allergy, in the muesli recipe you can put banana chips or something instead, because I've put those in for crunch and texture. So then you can replace it with something that you enjoy which has crunch and texture that's not necessarily a nut. That's why I describe why I'm putting things in to different recipes. I hope that helps. And I hope that makes sense as well. And I'm going to enjoy my muesli, but I wanted to say that before we continued with the video. So see you in a bit. Okay, so it's about 1:30 now, so I'm thinking about lunch, and I'm running around quite a bit today. I am at home, but I'm doing lots of filming and taking different photographs and things for different brands and for my own stuff, so I want something quite light that's not going to make me feel like heavy and bogged down. So I'm thinking I'm going to go with a smoothie. There's a smoothie recipe that I've just been loving lately that I just kind of threw together one day, and it's turned out to be one of my favorite smoothies. So I think I'm gonna make that. I was gonna do a smoothie bowl, but to be honest, on top of that, I normally put the muesli, and I've already had muesli today, so I'm just gonna do a straight up smoothie, I think. So I'm gonna make that quickly now and show you what I put in it. So I'm gonna put a couple of bananas as the base. I'm so happy about this. Sometimes you gotta use up just the bananas that you have. I've got some green ones ripening there, but thankfully I've got a couple of proper ripe ones. This is what you want your banana to look like. Nice and soft and easily digestible and really sweet. It's delicious. Don't worry, they're not brown on the inside. They're still perfect. And then what I've been really enjoying throwing in here is some frozen ginger that I just freeze myself. I have this old container, and I have some chopped up ginger and some sliced lemon in here for when I make lemon tea. But I usually take a thumb or sometimes two. I might do like one and a little one. A couple bits of frozen ginger. Makes it so good. I actually learned this tip from somebody who sent me some acai, and they said add a thumb of ginger in it and it'll change the game, and now I've been doing it to every single smoothie that I make, and it really does. It's like making a savory dish and just adding a bit of salt into it, just like makes all the flavors come out. I feel like this is the smoothie equivalent. Add a bit of ginger and it just makes it so delicious. And then I'm going to add some peanut butter as well. Just like a spoonful of that, just because it goes so well with banana. And I want some green, so I'm going to add some spinach, I think. And if you don't really like the taste of greens in your smoothie, I personally love it. A good like green smoothie taste is so good to me, but I know a lot of people don't like it. You're not going to be able to taste it above like the ginger and the peanut butter and the banana and the other things that you put in it. If you're worried, you can maybe put a little bit less and just see how you go, but it's always good to add greens wherever you can. And then I'm going to add, again, some hemp hearts, I think. That's the most protein-packed food in existence, and it's just full of so many other things. I'll put them here on the screen if I can like list them all. It's so good. I think I'm gonna put some powders in. I think for a little bit more green, I'm gonna put some chlorella in. Just not too much, because I've already got spinach in there, just a little bit. And honestly, I think I'm going to keep it simple and just stop there. A bit of milk to liquidize. I knew I forgot something. I knew it. Like the main ingredient. Some frozen mango, because it just makes it like creamier, because this specific recipe there hasn't been anything frozen in it, and to add just like a little bit of frozen I feel like makes it thick and creamy. But also I just love the taste of it with banana, so I'm gonna put some of that in. It's gonna change the game, you watch. Oh yeah, it's already definitely thicker. And then I'm just gonna pop it in here. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Ready to go. Please, please try this recipe. And if you do, let me know how you like it. Post a picture on Instagram or whatever and just let me know, because it sounds like a bit of a weird mix, but it's so simple and yet so delicious. Honestly, this is my favorite smoothie recipe, and it's the one that I've been making so often recently. So let me know. I'm gonna go enjoy this. Okay, so tonight I decided to make a mung dal, which is, I'd say, my favorite food. I remembered that tonight I'm actually going to an event at 7 o'clock, so it's going to be a bit of an earlier dinner. I'll probably aim to eat around 5:30 so that I have time to eat and digest before I head out. So this is a really simple meal to make. It's one of my favorites. It's really warming and grounding and hearty and delicious, and I love it so much, and I also just love how simple it is. So I'm right now just gonna boil some mung beans for about 40 minutes until they soften up, which is really easy. I just need to sit and let it do that before I make the taka to add to it, and then it's pretty much done. So for now, all I'm needing to do is add those to a saucepan. And I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric, just like maybe like 2 teaspoons, and then a bit of boiling water. Actually, I'll show you what I'm looking at. Bit of boiling water, and it absorbs quite a lot of the liquid, so I'm going to put quite a bit of water in there because it won't be that liquidy in the end. And then I'm going to pop it on, put the lid on, and come back in 40 minutes. Okay, so the mung beans have softened up. I've just added a little bit more water because they did absorb all of that water and they were beginning to stick to the bottom. So I've added a little bit more. And what I'm going to do now is take my pan and add a splash of water just so things don't stick to the bottom. And I'm going to add some cumin seeds and some mustard seeds. That's the cumin and the mustard. And I'm gonna wait for them to start popping, and then I'm gonna add an onion, and I like quite a lot of garlic. You could use 2-3 cloves. I'm probably gonna use 3 or 4. And then I'm gonna add some spices, put it in the mung beans, and that's gonna be the dal done. Okay, so now the onion has gone a little bit translucent and it's started to cook a bit. I'm going to add just 3 spices. I'm going to add a little bit of cumin, some chili powder, and also some garam masala. Mix it in here a little bit. Let it cook for about another minute, minute and a half, and then I'm going to add it to the dal. Which, if you remember, was just the mung beans with a little bit of turmeric, and then that's honestly it. I'm going to serve it with a bit of rice. Sometimes I like to do like 50% rice, 50% lentils, and then have a little bit of yogurt, get some coriander on top, and that's it. Such a good meal. And then I'm going to head out. So I'm going to say goodbye now. I'll show you the rest of the process, but thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you want me to make more of them, let me know in the comments, because I never know if I should be making these kind of what I eat in a day videos. I really enjoy them and I would like to make more, but only if you want to see it. And subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye!